This is Scotty from Planetmosh. I'm here in Glasgow with Arejay of Halestorm.
How's it going?
Bad.
Planetmosh. I love moshing.
Well, listen, I'm going to get...
Actually, the first time I moshed was over here. I moshed, and it was in a club, actually, which is something we're not used to. We don't play rock music in clubs in the United States. And they were playing Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I got to mosh to it.
Oh, man.
But anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I'll get you to do a shout out from Planetmosh if that's alright.
Okay.
After this, but... Third night of the tour, over across the pond. How's the jet lag? How's it going?
I just now got over it, actually. As of right now. As of 5 seconds ago. Feel good.
So you were ready to tear the shreds out of
yeah. It's the scotch. I drank some scotch. I feel great.
And it's I was saying to the guys beforehand, you guys never seem to stop. You're always touring. You're always doing stuff like that. I mean, you're going. It's a hell of a tour, this, isn't it?
We don't want to stop. We love it. We don't know how to stop, actually. Yeah.
Is there anywhere in particular you're looking forward to playing?
Oh, well, I mean, I've been looking forward to playing the garage because every time we come to Glasgow, which I love Glasgow, it's so beautiful. We got to walk around to the old square and everything, and do the whole tourist thing, you know. But every time that we come here, everyone always mentions the garage. They always say, you gotta go to the garage, you gotta play the garage. And we were supposed to play somewhere else, the
Cat House.
The Cat House, yeah. And they bumped us up to the garage. We were so pumped about that, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think
looking forward to it.
It was fantastic that not only it was great to see there was such a demand for the cash that they bumped you up. I mean, the garage is probably a big enough venue for it. I mean, it's just a great venue for you guys to rip the place apart.
I can't wait. It's very intimate. We're very close to the crowd, which I'm excited about this tour because we're playing a lot of small clubs, and it reminds me of our first because it's our first headline tour. This is our very first headline tour outside of the U.S. So. Apart from Canada.
Yeah.
So it brings back a lot of memories for me. It reminds me anyway of our first headline tour in the States on our first record, playing very small clubs and working our way up. And now we play maybe about 1,000 to 5,000 seaters in the States. We come over here, we get to play 500 to 1,000. So I like it. It's very nice. The drums are like on the floor, right at the edge of the stage, and I get to mess with people, and it's fun.
On that point, I was going to say you have quite a flamboyant nature in the kit. And,
thanks.
I mean, it's great. It just adds to the whole stage show.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular setup for these smaller venues, or is it? I know you've got your toms laid down in a particular manner, haven't you? I think.
I've always kind of just kept the basic. I'm a Led Zeppelin fanatic, so they're the band that I grew up on. So when I got sponsored by Ludwig, I was like, just give me the John Bonham setup, and I know it'll be great. So yeah, I've got pretty much the same setup everywhere. That's the good thing about being a drummer. You pretty much have the same amount of space every show. I've downsized a bit in my kit in the States. I added like an 808 sample and some dubstep sounds for the drum solo, and just to experiment. And I had some octobans on the left. But over here it's kind of nice because it's very stripped down. There's no electronics, no click track, no anything. And it's very raw.
I was going to say, do you prefer raw and in your face?
I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, as a band, we've never used backtracks, and we refuse to. I kind of think it's cheating. But I mean, it works for some bands. Some bands, it works good, but for us, it wouldn't because something would go wrong, and we'd end up with a Milli Vanilli situation. It would end up on loop or something,
And how is it? Well, I mean, you were talking about having a walk around Glasgow.
Yeah.
How do you guys get much chance to stop because you're doing so many dates? Do you get a chance to sample some of the local?
Yeah, we did, especially on this tour, being the headline act. We don't go on till later. Last time we were here, we were opening for Shinedown, and we went on a little bit earlier. Pretty much stuck by the venue, but now that we're in charge, we get to go around, walk around a little bit.
But here we're doing.
And I also like that about when we come over here and tour in Europe and in the UK. We play in a lot more metropolitan areas. We play more in kind of more of a city setting, which is cool, because everything's a little more closer together. And in the States, usually, especially if you're doing arena tours in the States, they're usually like out in the middle of nowhere. They're usually like in the middle of a cornfield or something like that. So
it's very little roundabout for you to kind of take in then.
So it's cool we get to be tourists over here.
Brilliant. And In terms of, you know, the album's been out now for about 6 months or so, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
How, with such a hectic tour schedule, how do you go about writing new material? Is it all done on the road, or do you have during the breaks? Or?
We kind of do both. On the road, we really don't sit down and write like we would if we were off the road. Like, basically, how we've been doing it is we just kind of, we've got our iPhones. And I've got this track in my this app in my iPhone called 4-Track Recorder, and it's pretty cool. What I'll do is where's that songwriting? Here we go. I'll take it and I'll basically I'll record a melody in one, and then I'll harmonize with myself, and then I'll add I'll try to do a drum beat or hum a guitar riff. So basically, it's all done very much just kind of ghetto vocally. Like I'll just kind of hum a guitar riff and. Because I'm not really a good guitar player, so if I think of something up here, I'll hum it and then go back on my guitar, learn it later. But yeah, when I'm home, I'll set up my keyboard, my guitar, my Pro Tools, and I have a little studio at home that I'll write with. But yeah, on the road, it's pretty much just collecting ideas, and then when we get off the road, we'll usually go to a studio or one of our friends' studios, and we'll go in and track some demos, which is fun,
And how long are you? You're obviously running this tour up until the end of the year,
right? Yeah.
Pretty much. And I think Mike was saying you'll be having a very brief break for Christmas, but then you're off.
Yeah, then
again.
we're back off. Yeah, they're back on.
Is it going to be more touring for the most part next year?
Oh yeah, and next year we're going to be touring constantly, just like this year, and we'll definitely be coming back over here. Hopefully with a band that we really like, that I can't talk about, I can't mention, hasn't been announced. Well, yeah, we're definitely coming next year.
I want to lay the dibs down just now. If it's Godsmack, I will be there with bells and whistles on.
I would love for it to be Godsmack. I love those guys. Dude, those guys, did I tell you what I never, well, of course I never told you, but, sorry. But Shannon said a really cool thing to me. We were playing in Dallas, Texas, and he pulls me aside. He's like, hey, come here. It was like our 3rd show of the tour, and he pulls me aside in this back room, and he's like, hey man, I got to see your set today, man. And, because he's this skinny guy. He's the sweetest guy in the business. And he pulls me aside, he's like, man, I got to see your set today. Usually while you guys are playing, I take my nap because I'm old. He said that. And I was like, you're not old, come on. But he's like, yeah, he's like, I usually take my nap, but I got to see your set today, and man, just the way you play the drums is so crazy, man. And this is coming from Shannon Larkin, one of the most legendary, crazy drummers out there. A big influence on me. I grew up listening to, or watching Shannon and listening to Godsmack and learning all his tricks and everything. So he watches us play, and he pulls me aside. He's like, man, back in the day when I was your age, they used to call me the kid, because I was the crazy kid drummer, and now you're the kid. And I'm like, I'm passing the torch. I'm like, oh my God. And it was such a huge honor. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so to this, we're still friends to this day. He's the sweetest guy ever. He's like, man, just take my number, let's hang out, let's do lunch or something. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So yeah, all the Godsmack guys. Sully would come down in our dressing room, and he would come to Lizzie, and he'd be like, Lizzie, your voice is fucking awesome. You don't ever stop, in his thick Boston accent. He's like, you're all awesome, but whatever you do, don't stop doing it, because people love what you do, And on stage, he was like, Halestorm, my God, holy fuck, how good were those guys, They give us a lot of love on that tour. I love touring with those guys.
It's always great though when you get that kind of feedback from the bands that you're working with,
right,
on a regular basis, isn't it? I suppose it just helps you as well when you're touring. It takes you to another level. And you just want to
yeah. It was the same thing with Evanescence. We just did a tour with Evanescence, and they told us that we were one of their favorite bands to tour with, and we're like, oh, you say that to all your bands, come on. And they're like, no, fuck no, we really, actually a lot of bands we don't like, and, but we like you guys. They didn't really say that, but they were really cool. Amy was awesome. She would come out and sing with Lizzie, and yeah. They were the great guys. Actually, Will, the drummer, let me sound check with them for one song. That was a huge honor for me. To get to jam with Evanescence was such a huge privilege for me. Pretty awesome.
And in terms then of you're talking about the way that you guys perform. If this is a person comes to see you guys for the first time, what can they expect?
Oh man, you get a lot of actually, it's cool because we've built up such a great fan base over here, just from all the amazing people at Roadrunner, which unfortunately Roadrunner went under, and we were all really devastated about that. But all the people that were involved with Roadrunner are still involved with us. We keep them really close, and they still give us a lot of push over here. So, and we've had a lot of support with the radio, with Kerrang, and and with the press, with Metal, like all the major magazines. So it's pretty cool to build up such a fan base without anyone even seeing us play a headline set. So it'll be a lot of fun. I think everyone's gonna like it. We're gonna I love doing the headlines shows because we get to pull out all the tricks. We get to do the crazy drum solo, the piano song, and like it's a very, very high energy show. So
and I'm allowed to ask, are you guys throwing in any covers?
Actually we are.
But you're not going to tell me why.
I can tell you what it is.
I don't know if I want to spoil the surprise.
Oh really? Okay, it's a surprise.
Go on.
That's right. All right. Well, I won't tell you. I won't tell you who it is that we're covering. But I'll just say this: if you're a Judas Priest fan, you should definitely come to the show.
Well, this has been.
Well, I just gave it away. We're doing. I'm sorry. We're doing Dissident. That was a Dissident Aggressor by Judas Priest. Sorry, brain fart there. Anyway, so
yes, go and check out Halestorm on tour. They'll be somewhere because they always are somewhere. We're going to enjoy them at Glasgow tonight. This is Scotty from Planetmosh with RJ.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Glasgow.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thanks.